but purely on the grounds of economy. They're not necessary, but they all add to the general gaiety and jollification.
Another rehearsal. To preside over the gaiety and jollification on the day, Mauritius is allocated 2 of the Royal Second 11, Princess Alexandra and Mr. Angus Ogilvy.
Stop. Open the door. Quick, quick, quick.
Naturally, royalty rehearses in private, so to fill in, Colonel Hefford has got himself a pair of understudies, a lady police sergeant and a rather awed constable. To receive them, a real...
Whatever. Stop! Open the door. What are you waiting for? I'm the Prime Minister. Hello, Princess. How are you? Hello, Mr. Ogilvy. How are you? Now, we just stand here for a second and we get the British national anthem when everybody has gathered up. That's it.
No independence ceremony is complete without a religious service. In Mauritius, this could be complicated because the majority of the population are Hindus, with substantial minorities of Muslims and Roman Catholics. But, British to the last, the island still has the established church. So it's to the Anglican cathedral, normally deserted save for the clergy and a handful of conscientious civil service churchgoers, that the royal party must go. To greet them come all the clerics of all the denominations whose consciences are ecumenical enough to allow them to shake the royal hand. For the rehearsal, the royals are still stand-ins, the bishops real, and the colonel still in charge.
Mr. Ogilvy is coming behind you, Bishop. Yes. Now look, shake hands with the bishop first. Shake hands with the bishop. That's it. Now, Bishop, if you would just walk across the princess, because you've got to do your presentations to the dean and the others.
Yes.
That's it. Mr. Ogilvy.
Unfortunately, by no means everybody in Mauritius is in favour of independence. And as the day dawned, it became clear that nearly half the population were determined to boycott the whole thing. The rest, mostly Indians, wanted to celebrate. In one thing only was the entire population wholly united. All of them rejoiced in the fact that Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra, true representative of the Queen of England, was going to do them the honour of presiding over their independence celebrations. Ceremonies still lie ahead. In a brief pause between official events, Hefford makes the journey back to the bungalow allotted. Perks he allows himself. In fact, he's paid only £350 a month, which isn't a lot when you consider that it's only for 3 months. And for those 3 months, he's...
will be standing where I am. If the blast is too big and the noise is too big, they may become frightened. Children may get frightened, they might start to run, there might be a stampede, people might be hurt. I don't want that to happen. As you see, the choppers have now come down, and they're going to start their little display. And I want to get up close to that fence, which would be as close as the public would be, and just to see what effect the rotor blades have.
Colonel Hefford recruited the helicopters from the army at rather short notice to fill in time in the programme of ceremonial high jinks for Independence Day. Relieved for a few moments from their normal duties, spotting rioting natives, they perform for Hefford a kind of aerial gavotte, which he hopes will entertain the populace without scaring the daylights out of them.
The public is going to be about this.
British government, anxious to avoid the remotest possibility of another bit of bad publicity, at home that is, not abroad, decided not to send the royal couple. So the governor stood in for the Queen, and Colonel Hefford ensured that everything went ahead almost as planned. Instead of the princess, a former colonial secretary, Mr. Anthony Greenwood, who, on his only previous visit to the island, had a stone chucked at his car by somewhere in the crowd. A disillusioned lady police sergeant and a policeman back on traffic duty tried to carry on as though nothing had happened.
Morning. Morning. Morning, and just like morning. Morning. Morning.
This, after all, is an occasion for self-congratulation, for demonstrating a bit of independence as well as achieving it. And all nations, however peacefully they get their freedom, must remind themselves of the shackles of colonialism and convince themselves that winning their independence has all been a terrific struggle. Mauritius is no exception. The floats manned by third-generation Indian immigrants recall the fierce battles of the past, the heroic achievements of their country. The communist Chinese contingent, all sporting a little red cap in honor of Chairman Mao, put their dragon through its paces, happily joining their imperialist cousins in the last salute to the Union Jack.
That's on the